All right, I hope everyone is doing well. I know we have about 5 participants here right now, and we will get started at 2:30. So just before we actually get started, I'd like to make sure that everybody can properly hear me. And what I'll do is I'll just get you in the chat. Just mention where you're actually from. So mention your area and where you're actually, where you do business in. That way we'll know that you guys can hear me and that you can open the chat. Um, so in the chat, we've got Fred from Sarasota, amazing. We've got Kim from Wesley Chapel, Florida. David from Barksfield, California. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So you guys can hear me and you can see me, which is perfect. All right. So what we want to do is first we're going to kind of go through what is it that we need when it comes to Facebook. So what we need set up, we need to make sure you have your business page created. We need to make sure that you understand how Facebook ads work so that your credit card is entered into the Facebook account so that it'll work. We will go over in general kind of how Facebook marketing works, how targeting works, help answer any questions that you guys have, and we want to make sure we actually bring you guys into the call and have you kind of ask the question live. But before we do that, what I'd love to do is just to get an understanding. I know this webinar is meant primarily in the basic side of Facebook, but do we have anybody here that has already set up Facebook ads and they've already done Facebook ads in the past? So maybe just comment in the chat. Have you done Facebook ads before? Anybody? So Alex has run ads. Kim, I have done ads. Awesome. Okay, so we have a little bit of at least a little bit of knowledge. Yes, Facebook, but has me locked out. So David is one that has Facebook issues, have Facebook business, but no ads. Awesome. Okay. So that at least gives us a little bit of an idea in terms of what have you guys done before. As we said last time, we're not going to have where we actually go through the process of setting up the actual ads on this webinar. We wanted to make sure that the first webinar actually you guys are all prepared and your accounts are going to be able to run the ads. The next webinar that we do, which is actually scheduled for next week, however, what we want to do is actually set up a webinar tomorrow, or actually not tomorrow, on Thursday, to actually set up the ads. So we'll have a webinar on Thursday. If others need the webinar also next week, you can have it next week as well. But this webinar is primarily going to be focused on helping you guys understand how to set up the ads. So first and foremost, what we want to do is we want to kind of go into the basics. The basic part is having your Facebook business page. So in order for you to run ads on Facebook, you have to have a business page actually set up. So I know for some of you that already have your Facebook business page set up, this might be a little bit, too basic, but we're going to run through real quick. And this is being recorded, so all of you know. That way, in the event that you need to go through it later on, if you don't, you don't have to follow us step by step on doing it now. You will be able to watch the recording afterwards. Everybody will get emailed this recording when it's completed, so you know exactly how to set up your Facebook business page. So Vanessa is going to help us do that. So Vanessa, do you want to share a screen? And
Abs-
show us. Awesome.
Yep.
All right.
Can
And oh, sorry, Vanessa. In fact, I've kind of completely forgot to introduce myself, introduce Vanessa, introduce everybody. My name is Otto. I am the CEO and founder of Agent Locator. We have been working in the real estate field for the past about 13 years or so. We help real estate agents generate leads. We have a backend CRM system as well as websites, IDX, and stuff like that. That's been running for the past 14 years, or 13, 14 years, helping real estate agents do that. And we work with Craig Proctor to help do a lot of that stuff as well. And Vanessa is our Facebook expert who is primarily focused on setting up Facebook ads. She understands Facebook inside out. So when I mean inside out, she's helped agents develop ads that have generated thousands of leads per month if they want to do that. She's really somebody who understands Facebook at a very, very, very large degree. So Vanessa, we'll leave it in your hands. And then anybody who has questions, what I'll do is, as Melissa is going to show this part, we're going to go through the first part, show you guys how to set up a Facebook business page, and then we'll also help answer any questions you guys have afterwards as well. So,
Awesome.
all right.
Thank you, Ado. Okay,
You're
I'll
most
start
welcome.
sharing my screen, and please let me know as soon as you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it now.
Awesome. So as soon as you log in onto your Facebook account, on the very left side here, you should have a little menu, what we usually call, and you should have a couple of shortcuts here. So this is what I most of the times use to access either my pages or the ads manager or basically anything else. It's like basically shortcuts for accessing different parts of your Facebook account. Now, if you're having any trouble locating Facebook pages under this menu here, you can always just do a quick Google search, and type in Facebook pages basically, and it will take you right to the part where you need to create your business page. So just click on the first link and you will be good to go. I'm going to use my shortcuts here, and feel free to let me know if I'm going too fast, too slow, and I will try to get into as much details as possible, basically to make sure you are, after this, completely set up to create your own page. So
Awesome.
once I click,
I'll kind of go along with you as you're explaining to them, and maybe hop and ask questions in the event. So those that want to search on Google for business pages, they can search for it, they can find it that way. Or if you see it in your list here, you can click on your pages and you get to them here. Now, when other people open up their business pages, if they don't have any pages, like you have a bunch of pages that we're already managing for other agents, so we're seeing those, right? When they come to this page, it'll probably be blank. There won't be any pages there.
Correct. They will be seeing a create new page button here, basically right in the middle. But if they already do have some pages they manage, or maybe they want to create a different page than the one they already have for a different business or things like that, the create new page button will be again here on the left, and that is what they will be using. So basically, wherever you see a button, create new page, use that. And there is a common, go on, please.
Yeah, what I actually wanted to mention here as well, for those of you that may already have a business page set up, like if you have a business page set up with your name and you want to set up a different page here, it actually makes more sense to set up a page specifically for this type of advertising we're doing. Because one of the ads that we're going to help you guys set up is, homes under X value, to get a list of homes under X value. So the best page, the name of your page might make sense to say homes for sale in the area where you're actually going to be putting that ad. So the page itself will show that name, as well as you're going to be targeting people in that area as well. So when you go ahead and maybe create the page, and we can show how they can enter that name in there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to mention one more thing, that people will often confuse their personal Facebook profile with a Facebook page. So these are two completely separate things. And your private Facebook profile is something that you will use, to connect with your friends, with your family, and it's easily accessible, through this little button here, where you will be seeing probably your profile photo, your name, and stuff like that. But a Facebook business page are basically pages where people cannot add you as a friend, but they are rather following or liking your page. So those two will be completely separate, and you can always invite your friends on Facebook to like your business page, but these will be completely separate from your personal profile. And let's say if you are running ads on Facebook, people that will be able to access your page will not by any means be able to access your personal profile, unless they go in, type it in, and search for it and stuff like that. So I'm going to proceed with the page creation process. We're just going to click on the create new page button here, and we will get a menu here on the left again that says create a page. Now, there are two things that are required in this case. That will be the page name and the category. The description is also there, but it's completely optional and up to you if you want to fill it out or not. Now, for the page name, as Ada said, you can use, homes for sale in a certain area, or let's say affordable homes for sale or something like that. I'm missing it. Okay, homes for sale in, I don't know, Florida.
So yeah, like for example, if we're because one of the ads that we're going to be setting up, for example, is going to be like Glenway Estates homes under 1.2 million. So if we're doing Glenway Estate homes as an example, then maybe the name of the page would be something like Glenway Estates homes, right? So that would be instead of affordable homes for sale in Florida, you could actually be targeting the area where you're actually going to be doing the lead generation. So if you want to do lead generation in Glenway Estates as one example, then the name of it. Let's actually make the name of the page Glenway Estate Homes. Yeah,
Glenway, like this?
Glenway. Yep, that's it. Glenway and then space Estates. So ESTATES, ESTATES, and then homes.
Like
Yeah. So Glenway Estate Homes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to just add.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
I want to just add that these names are not unique, so there can be tens and thousands of different pages on Facebook with the same name. So these names are not unique, and you don't have to worry about somebody else taking your page name. It will be your page, and it does not matter if somebody else has a page with similar name. Still, you can use that.
Yeah.
Now for the category, you will type in real estate agent, whatever you feel suits you the best among these.
Real
this
estate
is not, yeah, let's put real estate, but it's not. I think you can actually put more. Yeah, you can add up to 3 in this field here. So real estate agents, and whatever else you want to add that represents you and your business. And now the description, as I mentioned, will be completely optional, but if you want, you can add, a short blurb of, I don't know, get a free list of homes under a certain price range or things like that. Again, completely up to your liking. So
this is not required. Yeah, this is part, the part of this, when you're actually setting up this page, all we're actually setting up the page for is that when our ad shows up on Facebook, in fact, let me do a quick screen share of the ad that we're going to be helping set up here. One sec, I'll share. Oh, it looks like it's going to stop sharing your screen.
No
so,
worries.
all right. One sec.
Try now.
Share. Awesome. You can see my screen now?
Yep.
Okay. So perfect. The name of the page, when you look at, the most important part, because the name of the page is going to be present there all the time, that's where, having Glenway Estate Homes as something that stands out would actually make sense. The description and all the other stuff really doesn't. And also the picture that you upload as part of that profile picture will show up whenever we're doing ads. So that's always going to show up there. And then when we build an ad later on, this stuff here is something that you put into the actual ad. This page, what we're building now, is just this page up here, and that's what we're showing. That's where the name is going to actually show. So if you can go back to your screen, then please.
Okay, now that this part is completed, you will just hit the create page button, and your business page will basically be good to go and ready to use. Awesome. Give it a second, my connection. As Adam mentioned, the profile photo will be visible. So I wanted to absolutely add to the fact that I would suggest adding a profile photo to that page, basically. You don't have to do this from the step here. So here we can just click save, and this will bring us to the page itself. However, Adam mentioned that photo will be in fact visible from your ad. Now, we don't want your ad to look scammy. So if you were to post an ad like this with just the G here and on a page with no content whatsoever, I mean, some people for sure may register, but whoever is to open your page, they might feel like this does not look as legit as if you had a page that was completely built up with your information, with the information of the homes and things like that. So as a minimum, like I would suggest just adding a profile photo here and adding a cover photo, and you can just click on this little camera here and add or select any photos from your computer and add a photo right there on your page. So I believe we have completed the page setup. Anything else you want to add, Rado?
Yeah, so just basically when it comes to the pictures, you can really pick whatever you want. It's the whole idea here. In fact, I'm going to show because you did send me the link over from the less branded page from Craig. So I'll show what his looks like and also answer the one question that was there. So this is an example of Craig's. Like, he has one page that's York Region Homes for Sale. And then one of the questions was on here, do you create a business page specifically for every different type of ad? You really don't have to. Like, if you can create a regional page, let's like York Region Homes for Sale, that covers basically all the areas that you do business in, you could have one page that actually is specifically created for all of it. However, if you're targeting Glenway Estates, sometimes it's better to actually have the name of the page to be the name, also the targeting area, because there's then two factors that are actually seeing. They're seeing the name Glenway Estates. That's where they're looking. That's where they are. That's where they may be looking for a home. and then they're also seeing Glenaway Estates in the actual ad. So it may make sense that you create a page, because it really doesn't take a lot for you to create a business page. It's very quickly to create a business page. So it would add on additional, it would be a little bit better if you were to create a page specifically for the ad that we're doing. So that's, I'm going to stop sharing here, and let's go back to your screen again. So what I want to do, just before we kind of continue, I want to make sure that this part of the business page, everybody understands how and why you need a business page. Like, if you have questions that are about a business page, go ahead and please ask them in the chat, and we'll just answer them right away there. But we're using this business page on the ad so that when the ad goes out, it's going to have that business page on there. And without the business page, we don't have the ability to run the Facebook ads. That's always needed when you're actually creating Facebook ads. You have to select which business page you want to use for that Facebook ad. And we'll get to that part today as well. So any questions so far on setting up your business page? I don't see any questions. Okay, so those pages are in addition to business FB page. So Fred, when you go to pages, if you already have a business page set up, let's say your primary business page, which may be your name, we could use your name, and then when your ad shows up, it would show your name. It's probably better that we create a specific business page for the target that we're looking to do here, because when people are looking for a home for sale, and they see Glenaway Estates estate homes, they're more likely to actually respond to a non-branded ad than they are to respond to a branded ad, if that makes sense. So even if you do have a business page that's your own business page, that's your name, it's still a better idea that you actually create a separate business page that's a less branded business page for this intent that we're looking to do. So,
and that, I wanted to add, sorry, Otto.
Yeah,
I just wanted to add, I mean, just for, daily communication with clients, people are sometimes worried, like, I don't have enough likes or followers on my Facebook page. That is completely not relevant for the ads that we are running. So when we are running our lead generation ads, we are basically targeting everyone in the area. So even if you were to create, a new page separate from your, branded Facebook business page, it is not gonna cost you basically anything. Yeah. You're not gonna lose anything, and you're still gonna target everyone in the area who you want to target. So it's not related. You're not gonna lose any followers, any likes, and things like that.
Yeah, that's a great point. So don't worry about, your current business page has 50, 100, 200, 500 followers. The followers have nothing to do with what we want to do here. We're basically targeting everybody, and we're going to talk about targeting. That's one of the questions. Targeting, how do you target which area? And we're going to show an example of that. But your existing likes have nothing to do with it. So let's move on to the next part, which what we want to do is, once you've established your business page, we want to make sure that you have your Facebook advertising account ready. So we want to make sure that you have your credit card put into the Facebook ads. So how do we access the ads account, Vanessa?
Again, the shortcuts on the left-hand side, get used to using this more, because it will be, an easy access for you. And the more you use something, the more it will pop up, on the top of this little menu here. So just click on Ads Manager. And again, if you cannot find it, always Google just Facebook Ads Manager. And this is where it will, land on. And this is what you need to use for, your ads. Now you will see that my account here is.
So just out of curiosity, I wonder if there's somebody that can show us where you guys are actually seeing something different, where you may not be seeing this. Or is this a brand new account, Vanessa, I guess?
Yes, but I have a test one that I will be using.
Okay, perfect. Because they would be seeing something like this. Okay.
Correct. Okay. This is a brand new account, so this is what they would be seeing on their end if they did not have any ads created, basically in their ads manager.
Perfect. Okay. So there's one question. I'm just going to get to it right away because it's on there. What about the workaround special ad campaign of Facebook? I used to target interested Zillow, Realtor.com, etc., but no longer available in I think Canada. So we'll talk about the specialty targeting in housing, and how they restricted the targeting for housing because of the equal housing opportunity. Unfortunately, there's a lot of restrictions that have come out. So when you do target on Facebook, you're kind of doing very wide target, and we're trying to find people that are actually just mildly curious in what it is that you're offering. And this is why we've setting up the ads in such a way, like, if we show an ad for Glenway Estates, homes under 1.2 million, then the people that are responding and reacting to that ad, we are targeting people that are more than likely looking, or that are, let's say, live in that area. But we'll get to targeting in a second. So what we want to cover here now is when you go to the ads account on your Facebook, you're going to see something like this. And this is where you're going to go in and enter your credit card and just make sure your account is ready. And we will talk about making sure to understand, when it comes to budgeting, that you make sure that Facebook doesn't go nuts and spend a lot of your money. We'll make sure we teach you and show you how you can actually target, so you're not spending too much money and you're specifying a daily budget. So let's go ahead, Vanessa, maybe just show them how we're going to go about in making sure in the settings we have the credit card entered and where they get to do that.
Absolutely. So what you see here in front of you, basically on my screen, is the Ads Manager, and this is where we'll be creating the ads from. This is also where you will be, entering to access any of your existing ads to see how much of your budget was already spent, how many leads has your ad generated, what is your cost per lead, and things like that. But as I'd already mentioned, having a Facebook page is the #1 requirement for running Facebook ads. And the second requirement would be to have a working payment method added to your account. Now, here from the Ads Manager, you will have the menu from where you basically access all the tools. Again, on the left-hand side, just where you have the 3 little lines. As soon as you hover over it, you'll be seeing this all tools here. So you're going to click on that, and you're going to find the billing here under the settings. It might be here among these shortcuts. If you have not accessed it, it will be down here. So just basically make sure to locate billing and access that page. Now, as soon as this loads, you will have a couple of options here. Awesome. So this is from where you will be accessing your invoices. So as soon as Facebook bills you, an invoice will basically appear here for you. But of course, in order to be billed, you need a working payment method to be added. So you're just going to open payment settings. It will be in the top right corner here. Click on that, and this will actually open all of the payment settings, from where you can add one or multiple payment methods to your Facebook Ads Manager. So there will be a blue button under payment methods. Just make sure to locate that, click on it, and from this little pop-up here, you will be adding all of your credit card details. You can use PayPal. And I think that's it when it comes to the options. Not sure what this is. Okay, so basically just choose a debit or credit card or PayPal and click on the next in order for you to enter your credit card details.
Awesome.
Here, just populate your info, and that's basically it. As soon as you save it, this will be the primary payment method basically on your ad account. If you were to add multiple, you would also have the option to select which one you want to, use as the primary one, and that's about it when it comes to the payment methods.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vanessa. So I'll answer the one question that was here that was, does each page have to have its own credit card submitted? And that it does not. You're basically specifying your credit card on a per account basis. So this account will have this credit card, and all of your campaigns that you run under this account, they all get billed to the same credit card. And then as Vanessa mentioned, you could add 2 different payment methods. So let's say you have your primary payment method, which Facebook will try to bill that. And let's say that declines, then you could have another payment method on there that they'll try to bill. And sometimes, maybe not now, but why you may want to have a secondary payment method is so that Facebook doesn't stop your ads, because if the first payment method fails, then they stop all the ads until they actually have the ability to bill what it is they need to bill. So that's really, that's all the prerequisites that you need to have in order to really make sure that you're running ads. And that is, again, the business page, and you're in your ads account, you enter the credit card number. Once you've done that, then you're going to be able to create a campaign. And we're going to talk a little bit about today when it comes to creating campaigns. We'll talk a little bit about targeting. We'll maybe get some of you guys on here where we can help answer some of your questions, where we won't necessarily set up a full ad today. We do want to actually set up a second webinar for tomorrow that anybody who wants, Thursday, I keep saying tomorrow. Thursday, at what time on Thursday are we looking to set it up?
2:30 p.m.
2:30. Okay. So 2:30 Eastern Standard. We're gonna have one on Thursday, and then we're also gonna have one next week as well. I believe it's on Thursday too, or no, Tuesday of next week, where we're
Tuesday,
gonna
yeah.
show how to set up the ads. But we'll try to get everybody who would have otherwise gone to the other webinar. We'll try to get them into the Thursday one, so they can actually set up an ad sooner, so we can really have an ad running out there, so you can start generating some leads. So what we want to talk about now is just popping in, and let's talk a little bit about the targeting. Let's talk about, the housing, equal housing opportunity, what's happening there, and how the agents really, when they're starting to set up their ad. I know that a lot of agents have issues with like getting their ads rejected because they're real estate and they have to put them into a specific housing sector. So let's maybe talk a little bit about that and show them how to set up those ads that way.
Absolutely. So Facebook has, made all of our lives more difficult with the housing category for sure, and targeting has become a nightmare mostly. But we try to get the best of it and try to, use what we can and play with some of the, interests that are still available and things like that. So with the Facebook housing, they do not longer allow us to target by age. So you cannot say, I want to work with seniors only, or I want to work with, 35 plus people only. No, you do have to target everyone from 18 to 65 plus. So that option has been completely taken off. And for sure, you cannot specify any demographics. You cannot work with, let's say, only people who are employed in the medical field, only people employed in IT or things like that. Those options have been completely taken off Facebook, and you do need to target basically everyone in the area. Now, I saw a question about Zillow and Realtor.com. I do believe that those interests are still available, but we can go through them in a second and see what exactly can we do. Now, Ada, do you want me to go straight to the targeting option, or should we talk more about in general the ads?
Well, yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about targeting now, so that everybody understands kind of, because one of the questions they're going to have, okay, we need to figure out what area is it that you guys are going to be generating leads in. And how do we want to target? Because sometimes agents say, well, I only want to target maybe a small specific zip code, and we're not going to be able to target zip codes because of the equal housing opportunity, like how wide of an area we have to target. So if we can maybe show an example where could we do a test ad under your test account? Could we create a test ad to show them, when it comes to targeting, what are some of those targeting options? Like, how can we actually target? Because that'll give us an idea. Then when we do the ad on Thursday and next week as well, everybody will know kind of what is it that they want to target, based on some of the information here. Awesome.
Okay. So once you have added your payment method here, in order to go back to the Ads Manager, again, you just need to click on the All Tools button and click on Ads Manager. So this will be your go-to for anything campaign and ads related. And to add a bit more to that question, where somebody asked about the payment methods for each page, the same applies for the Ads Manager. So the Ads Manager is completely unique to your ad account, and no matter how many pages you use, all of your campaigns will be visible through this same Ads Manager, and they will all be basically there. Now I'm gonna proceed with
so before we kind of run through that, to create a new ad, let's just go back for a quick second. Creating a new ad, you're clicking on the top left hand, that create button, and that opens up the ad creation. And let's kind of go through some of those options that are there, just so everybody understand. So we've got type of campaign, type of objective. So we've got awareness, we've got traffic, we have engagement, leads, app promotion, and sales. Those are the type of campaigns. The main one that we're going to be doing, and that, whenever we do lead generation, is we want to do leads. So we're going to select leads as the main objective that we want to do. And then the bidding type, we're not changing anything here. We're leaving the buying type as auction. And so let's select leads one more time, and then we're going to basically click continue. There we go. So we're leaving everything the same, just clicking leads and then click continue. When we do that, we get to this screen that gets to basically, then you're specifying the name of the campaign. You're specifying the category. So this is also the important part, where you need to select, as a real estate agent, when you're doing an ad for real estate, this is that special ad category that we have to select now, that we have to be bound to. Because if you don't select the special ad category and you do create an ad that tries to go out, Facebook will decline that ad. They'll basically decline it, and then you're not going to be able to launch it. And if you do that a whole bunch of times, where Facebook says, listen, these guys are just constantly putting ads out. We're just going to block them completely. So Daniel, I'm not sure, or sorry, David, I'm not sure if that happened to you, but you do want to stick to having to select the category here. So let's show them how to do that.
Absolutely. So here under categories, you will have a number of, special categories to choose from. And the ones that, of course, you will be using for real estate is the housing special category. And if I can just go back to the campaigning here, guessing that you will be running, multiple campaigns when maybe different areas or just with different, price ranges or starting, price point, I would suggest to always make this as clear as possible. So whatever your target area will be for this ad, just put it, for later on for you to be
Yeah.
able to easily, go through these ads and figure out what your cost per lead is for each without having to actually go in and see, okay, this was that campaign, this was that campaign. So just put your area and maybe the price point in the campaign name, so you will be able to, easily differentiate that, going forward.
Awesome.
Okay, so here in the countries, you will select United States, Canada, or whatever, depending from the area that you wanna, depending on the area where you actually wanna advertise. So this
So let's
is not
select
where we
United
are.
States there, just for just so we can actually show that example. So we want to select United States.
Oops. Not sure if my laptop is going crazy.
It's weird that they don't allow you to search there. That's what there.
No, I have to use Control F. Yeah.
Wow.
No
Yeah.
problem.
So most of you that are in the United States, you probably would already have United States selected there. So now I've made Vanessa go through and kind of deselect. So let's just wait for her to finish that. But it is important that if you are in the United States, that you're selecting the United States there. There we go. So that's the United States. And then the next part is where we are targeting, right? So when you hit next, you don't put anything else here. Oh, sorry. So this is an important part as well. Go ahead, Vanessa.
Absolutely. So we can add the budget on basically two different places on the campaign itself. We do suggest using the campaign budget optimization most of the time, simply because you can already here see the description that says that just by using, this option, your budget will be distributed accordingly using, among your different ads that you might create under the same campaign. So it says here, so if your daily budget is, let's say, $10, you will spend up to $12.50 on some days, and let's say $8.50 on other days. But an average, your monthly average of the ad spend will always be $10. So here, what Facebook does is just basically on the algorithm, basically depending on how much traffic is that day on Facebook. Some days you will spend less, some days you will spend more, but basically your average will never be over 10.00 or whatever you set it here to be.
Awesome. So this is the part. Yeah, this is the part where we just set the daily budget. This is the part where you're going to control how much your campaign is going to spend per day. And as Vanessa mentioned, some days it may be 12, some days it may be 8, but overall it's going to kind of even out to about $10 a day. And this is where you control that budget. This is where you control how much you're going to spend on Facebook. That way Facebook doesn't give you a bill for $5,000. This is basically it. This is every ad or every campaign that you create, you get to set the actual budget you want to do. In this case, we're gonna keep it on $10 a day. When you're in the US, it's gonna say $10 USD. We're in Canada, so it says $10 Canadian. So that's we're gonna click on next on this part. And I'm just also gonna answer a question here where Marcus asked a question saying, is this creation method to drive traffic to a website or Facebook lead ads? Marcus, this was Facebook lead ads. So when we created the campaign, the objective was leads, was not traffic, it was leads. So we're actually looking to generate leads here.
Again, an important step here where it says conversion location. For this, we will use instant forms. This is basically where we get people to fill out a form directly on Facebook. Now, this is the best option, I mean, at least from our experience, because people do not like leaving Facebook and leaving their data elsewhere. So what happens when they see a sponsored post, when they see your ad, as soon as they click that little call to action button, what will happen is simply a little pop-up will appear that will ask them to submit their information. So use instant forms.
Sorry to cut you off, Vanessa. So Marcus mentioned here that when he hit the create button, he didn't see leads as an option on there. So Marcus, would you be comfortable if we were to actually get you live into this, if we promote you into a panelist and then get you to share your screen? Because others may be seeing the same thing. I want to make sure that everybody is good with seeing what we're seeing. Awesome. So let's bring Marcus on as a panelist. He's okay with it. So let's maybe put him on as a panelist and we'll get you to share your screen. This is the best way to help, guys. This is, see the problems right away and we can handle them together. And then, if others are watching this video and they're seeing similar problems, we can handle them right away. There's Marcus. Hey, Marcus. Can you hear us okay, Marcus? Just make sure, let me actually, there you go.
I can hear you, yeah.
Amazing. If you could share your screen and then we'll take a peek. Let's see what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'm just hitting the share screen button.
All right.
There we go. I'm not sure if you see that.
Yeah, we can see it now. So
Perfect.
Go ahead and click on create on the left, top left. Yeah.
So I'm getting some different. So I'm getting this here. So our new campaign, right? I'm getting a screen like this versus.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's a different
lead generation, and then
yes. Very good point.
I'm guessing that mine updated a bit too soon, but yes, that was the old screen. I was seeing that a couple of months ago. So lead generation is definitely what you will be going for. So whoever is not seeing leads, just make sure to go for lead generation, and that is basically the same objective.
I'm so glad that you brought this up, Marcus, because this is interesting. Facebook does these tests all the time when they release a new version of their software. And then some users are seeing one software and other users are seeing different one. So this is, I'm so happy that you brought this up because this is exactly what we need to make sure that some people will be seeing this. So you would 100% be selecting when you're under this screen. Let's go ahead and if you can close that off one more time for me, if you could please. And then let's click on create again, just so we can see how we got to it. Awesome. So when you get to this screen, you're going to click on that new campaign. If you look, there's click on the new ad set for me on the right. So when you get into it, you see this, click on the new campaign on the left. And then when you hit new campaign, you're going to have the consideration and then select lead generation as the option and then hit continue.
Yeah, that's what I did. And then
perfect.
I guess you have to go through a couple of next screens to get to that lead Facebook lead ad, I guess, instant form or whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
correct. That is the second step. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think ours is the same from this point, right? But this is from this
that
point, it's the same as it is over there. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is so great that we've done this. Marcus, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. We'll keep you on here as a panelist if we need to bring you on again as we go through some of these screens. Is that okay?
Sure, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So go ahead and click on stop sharing now, and then we'll go back to Vanessa's screen.
Yep.
Amazing.
Awesome. So once we have selected instant forms here, the next option will be basically for us to select the Facebook page. Now, if you click here, a drop-down will load with all of the pages that you own. Now, we were going to use the Glenway page we created a while ago, so we're going to click on that. Now, if this is your first time running Facebook ads, basically for this page, you will get this instantly, basically this error message that says that terms of service have not been accepted. In that case, you basically need to accept those terms. There's a button right below here that says view terms. Scroll through that, read through that, whatever you want to do, and agree to those terms and conditions, because otherwise you won't be able to create your ad and to continue the process from there on. So this will happen only the first time when you are creating the campaign for a brand new page. So as soon as if you were now to create a second campaign for the same page, basically, we will not be seeing this error anymore. And that's all. Awesome. Moving on here, this is where we get again to the budget. So if we were to turn the campaign budget optimization from the first level here at the bottom, if this was turned, you would have the option to select the budget on this second step here. But since we already did that, we're just gonna scroll through and move to the audiences. Now I'm getting an error here, and this basically says that my location selected here in the ad set is not matching the location that I set on the campaign level. That is because we set the United States, and I have Canada showing here.
Okay.
Now, when it
so this is the important part about targeting. This is where we're getting to that targeting, and this is where everybody just needs to make sure that we all understand, how the targeting works. So Marcus, let's actually use you as an example here, if you don't mind. I'm gonna unmute you. You're in here. We can actually keep sharing your screen, Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just unmute. Where did it go? There we go. Marcus, you're unmuted.
Mhm.
So let's take your area as a consideration, just so you know. Where would you like to generate leads? What were you thinking?
Durham region,
Durham
like
region. Okay.
yeah, Oshawa, Whitby, Pickering,
Mm-hmm.
Ajax.
Okay, so Marcus is in the Durham region. So we've got a couple of options here. First off, when it comes to the city, so Marcus could generate leads in Whitby. So let's go ahead and target, let's say, Whitby here when we're putting in a general city.
I need to
Well,
go
you know
back
what?
and
Sorry,
change.
we're gonna need somebody in the United States. Sorry, Marcus.
Indeed.
Actually, let's keep it in. Let's keep it in the United States. Let's get somebody from the. I see Fred here is also, and I think got promoted by mistake, maybe. Fred, are you with us? Maybe if you can unmute yourself, would you, or maybe somebody else, like if you guys want to just mention a name in the States. So where do you want to target? Or maybe we can bring you on, anybody out of the group. So Carla, David,
How about
Sherry,
Orlando?
Orlando, Sarasota, here we go.
Yeah.
So Fred is in Sarasota. So let's do Sarasota as an example here. So
Like this?
S-A-R-A. S-A,
S-A-R?
yeah, R. It's actually S is in same A as an apple.
Mm-hmm.
R.
Mm-hmm.
S-A-R.
Sarasota County, this
A-S.
one.
There you go. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So when we target Sarasota as a county, we basically have the ability now. If you look at the estimated audience size, that's 298,000 to 351 people. Like it's a fairly big area. So some agents say, hey, listen, I don't want to target that big of an area. I want to target only a zip code. Fred, do you have a zip code in Sarasota somewhere? I just want to show what happens when we try to target a smaller area in Sarasota. Any zip code inside of Sarasota that
Let
you'd like
me.
to target? Okay, there we go, 34236. So let's actually try targeting 34236.
This one?
Yeah.
346.
There we go.
Here we go.
So let's take out Sarasota as a county. So if you notice here now, it put in a 15 plus mile radius around that zip code that we put in. Go ahead and click on that. Click on that radius there. So can we lower it? What's the lowest radius that we can get?
15 mile, that is the lowest.
15 miles. Yeah. So
Yes.
this is the gift that Facebook has given us from that equal housing opportunity. You do not have the ability to target on Facebook that's less than a 15-mile radius or entering a municipality. Like we actually have to target an entire city, or if you're targeting a specific zip code, you have to actually target 15 miles around that zip code as well. So
Correct. And
go ahead, Vanessa.
yeah, wanted to add that you can also drop a pin. So let's say if you wanted to target a specific address, you cannot find it in the drop down. You can, zoom in on your map, drop the pin on wherever you want, but still that 15 miles radius will be applicable. And there is basically no workaround around this. So whatever you will be targeting, if it's not the entire country, there will be this, 15 miles radius around it.
Yeah. So that is just an important thing that everybody needs to understand when you're targeting. So let's say in this case, we're targeting Glenaway States. Hang on, Glenaway States. Let me actually states. Where is Glenaway States actually? Does anybody know? Glenaway States. That might actually be in Canada. It might not be in the States at all. But anyway. If you're targeting whatever area you're targeting, so in this case, let's say, Fred, we're going to target Sarasota. So let's actually go ahead and, let's change that zip code over to Sarasota. So we're putting in the city.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And then let's remove that 15-mile radius.
No, we cannot. This is the city. So even from the city, we cannot remove it. Counties counties and countries are the only one without the zip code because we are targeting a larger area, so to say, per se. But for cities, for specific zip codes, for drop pins, whatever you were to select, you're going to have this 15 miles radius around it.
So do we have the ability, if we let's remove that city completely out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And let's type in Sarasota, because last time when we searched for Sarasota, it actually allowed us to only target Sarasota.
It was the county, so this one, Sarah's. Wait,
So
this one.
SARA, yeah. So
Here
when
it
we
is.
target a
But again,
county, we have the ability to
mhm,
target a county. Okay, okay. So just to make sure everybody understands that perspective, like when it comes to targeting, Facebook is really, and this is the same across the board in every advertising platform when it comes to online, they're not making it easy for you to essentially, because you would be given the ability to discriminate on people based on housing, equal housing opportunity, they're not allowing you to really discriminate for them in any specific way, shape, or form. And then not only that, but um, if we go down here for a second, so age, if you notice, you cannot even select an age. You have to select 18 to 65 plus. We do not have the ability anymore to target, let's say, a specific sector of a group. Or let's say only male or female. No, you always have to target all genders between all ages. And then you're targeting a fairly wide area here with whatever ad that you're putting out.
correct.
Let's talk a little bit about the detailed targeting and what do we have there?
Absolutely. So these are some people who will match, specific interests or behaviors that you can add. Now, I mentioned a couple of minutes ago that we can no longer target, based on the work they do or things like that, but we can target based on interests. There aren't many, but, sometimes it's good to use them. And I simply suggest, when we are doing a real estate ad, to use whatever pops in and feels relevant to you when you simply type in real estate here. So we will have just real estate. We will have real estate investing. Maybe if you are running, if you were to run a pre-construction ad, things like that. I would avoid using real estate license and similar interests, because this way you're just going to end up in target real estate agents instead. But
So in
what you
fact, if
can
I can
do,
just mention here, just before
Mhm.
you kind of go on. So if you think about interests here, for example, when we added the real estate, so essentially we're saying to Facebook here, we want to target everybody in the Sarasota County. And here we're also saying we want to actually try to target people that are interested in real estate. So how does Facebook really know who's interested in real estate and isn't? So if we look here, out of that, what was it, 280,000? It actually shrunk the size down to 169,000. So you're targeting better because in Facebook eyes, they're seeing that these people may be actually interested in real estate. And again, if you think about how does Facebook know when somebody's interested in real estate, that could be that they may have responded to some real estate related ads before. They may have become a lead to somebody else. They may have Facebook also has access to other data sources. Like for example, when people go to real estate websites, Facebook knows that they are interested in real estate. So that's how Facebook really combines some of that data to help you understand the target better.
Mhm.
So in
And
this
maybe
case,
even
yeah, go
no,
ahead.
sorry, go on. I just wanted to add that it may have happened that they have liked some other realtors' Facebook page, or liked basically a post that talks
Yeah,
about real estate. So whatever information they will gather basically around
right.
about the person, and they will put it into this,
Yeah,
additional interest category.
awesome. And then now, do we have the ability to exclude? Can we actually exclude audiences inside
Again, only at the top
interests?
here. No, sorry. If we were to go here, wait, where was it?
I think it's below. So if we look at narrow audiences, one sec,
Here,
exclude. Okay.
here.
So what I would think we should do, and in fact, when we create an ad tomorrow, tomorrow on Thursday, we are going to show you how we're going to actually exclude real estate license. So people who are interested in real estate license, we don't want the ad to show them at all. We actually don't want agents seeing our ads, so we're going to actually exclude those that that Facebook finds have a real estate license. Let's actually go ahead and put in exclude real estate
I
license up
think,
there.
sorry, Ado, I think that this is not related to audiences. This is actually related to the audiences. So if we were to create a specific file with, a list of real estate agents in Canada or in United States, or if we were to exclude,
Oh, our own
if we are,
audiences.
that is correct. So it's
Okay.
not possible to exclude based on interest. What also we can do, if we were to target like a couple of cities, and then you want to or let's say the entire county, and then you want to exclude like only a part of it, that I think
Right,
can
right,
be
right.
done, but it does not work when it comes to interest. So we
Wow,
cannot
they've
exclude,
really narrowed
yeah,
down
yeah, they
this
have.
equal housing opportunity stuff.
Indeed,
That's crazy.
indeed.
Okay,
And
so
here
yeah,
I, yeah. I wanted to add here that we could also target like based on additional interest in terms of type of home. So I believe that there's an interest that says single family detached homes, or just start playing, with these and type in different home types like townhomes, condos, or whatever you want to target. Just make sure to include some of these. If you have no, if you notice that your audience is maybe too wide for you, check which one of these has the largest size. So here we
Right.
says that that townhome has around 25 million of people who are in this so to say interest category.
Right.
So
Right.
if
Right.
it's gone too wide, exclude some of these, but you can play along and see what suits you better and keep only those. And let's
Okay.
try now with Trulia and Zillow, I believe were mentioned. So these are still available. Zillow and Realtor.ca or .com actually. Realtor.com. Yes, they are available. However, they are fairly big. So if you see here at the number, they are fairly big. And I think that from time to time, they will just rather increase your audience than decrease it. And again, you might end up targeting real estate agents with these. So I would maybe, suggest focusing on the type of home, on just real estate
Yeah.
interest and things like that to narrow it down as much as possible.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to summarize a little bit here about what we've talked about and
Mhm.
answer some of the questions that we've had. So when it comes to targeting, first I'm going to answer a question here. So can we exclude agents? There is a way that you can exclude agents, but there's actually an extra step that you're going to have to do to build an audience of people that are only a real estate license holders, and then exclude that audience. And so there's a little bit of an extra step to actually do that. And we may not have the time to actually cover that step tomorrow, but we can create a video specifically to those
Mhm.
that are a little bit more advanced and understand this stuff a little bit more on how to actually exclude agents. So to answer your question, you do have the ability to do it, but there's an extra step to doing it. If you go back to your screen for a quick second, Vanessa, sorry.
No
Um,
problem.
no worries. And then when it comes to targeting, so we're targeting a general either county, or we're targeting a city with a 15-mile radius around it, or a community with a 15-mile radius. So the minimum is a 15-mile radius. So whenever you're thinking about whatever area you're looking to target, it's a good idea that you understand that it's going to target a fairly decent size of that area. So when it comes to you setting up your ad, one of the things that Craig talks about when you're setting up your ad and setting up the price point of that ad. So if you think about, Glenway Estates, for example, Glenway Estates homes are generally, priced at, let's say, 1.2 million, the lowest end, and up. So when Craig says to set up an ad that says Glenway Estate homes under 1.2 million, there's really not going to be a lot of properties. So that may actually entice people that they want to get a list of properties that are actually there in that price range, even though we know that there may not be. So you got to find that price point that makes sense whenever you're looking to set up your own ad. Look at the area where you want to target and find what is the price of home in that area that everybody would really want. Because all we're trying to do is we're trying to fish for people to give us their information so we can actually get a hold of them. And then Craig, I know, is going to talk a little bit about tomorrow on how to deal with these leads that do come in and how to actually speak to them on what to say to them so that you can actually get them on your side and help them out. So the targeting is very generic. It's fairly wide. We're targeting everybody in the 18 to 65 plus, and then we do have a little bit more of a narrowed audience with regards to targeting people that are interested in real estate and maybe types of homes they're interested in. We're just trying to add more people into that list.
I
There,
forgot to add one more
sure.
thing, Ado. Sorry if I can
Yeah,
interrupt for a quick
please.
second. Above the, the part where you will select your location, you will have this little drop-down menu. Now, what makes perfect sense for if you were to target, seller leads, if you want to get a listing from somebody, the only thing here that makes sense is people living in this location. So, of course, you want to target people who do live here because, in that case, they might have a home to sell. However, if you are targeting buyers, you can also select this one that says people living in or recently in this location, simply because if somebody is home hunting, it can be that they have recently visited that county, that city or whatever in search for a perfect
Right.
home. So, just you can, sometimes in terms of optimization, maybe start with living in this location. But if you fail to get, good enough leads or things like that, you can play with the locations part here and switch it to, somebody who has recently visited. Now, these are not that relevant for real estate, but just, bear in mind that there are
Sure.
also there.
So I want to mention actually something here. It's going to be a tip for some of you guys. I know there's been Florida mentioned. I want to mention a tip where you could really target an ad. So we know there's quite a few of Canadians or even other countries that are actually going down to Florida and looking to buy homes in Florida. And let's say you wanted to target an ad to all of those that have visited Florida but live in a different location. You can actually specify that you want to target people that are that have visited the area but actually live somewhere else, if I'm not mistaken, right, Vanessa?
Think so. Give me 1 second. People traveling in this location. Yes.
Right.
So people whose most recent location is within the selected area, but whose home is more than 125 miles away, basically.
Right.
So there's that.
So those are Florida, because that's a vacation destination. One of the other questions that was on here: how do we pixel retarget? So in this video, we're not going to be talking about how to actually set up retargeting ads and how to basically a retargeting pixel is when somebody goes to your website that they start seeing your ads everywhere they go. They start seeing your ads on Facebook everywhere they go, and that's a retargeting pixel. Unfortunately, we're not going to have the ability to do this on this webinar, although we'll have a chat with Craig. Maybe we can do a specific webinar to teach you guys how to do a retargeting on pixel. And then, is there an option to target homeowners like Google Ads? So the biggest difference here, Marcus, when it comes to Facebook and Google, is really the best way that I explain it. With Google and search, you have intent, meaning they're actually searching for homes for sale in a given area. Where in Facebook, we're casting a fairly wide net, and we're only targeting by what Facebook gives us the ability to target, because they're really not on there searching for homes for sale. So it's a little bit of a different kind of concept in generating leads. What we're trying to do is we're trying to show them an ad that really entices them to leave their information. Now, is that information left because of curiosity? Is that information left because they really want to buy? And what stage of the buying process are they in? We really don't know. But that's kind of, I hope that helps understand it with Google as well. When somebody goes to Google and searches for homes for sale in Glenway Estates as one example, what do we know there? All we know is they have intent, meaning that they're actually searching for that keyword. We don't know, again, what stage of the buying process they're in, but at least we know they have the intent that they actually were searching for a home. So it's a little bit different concept when it comes to Google Ads and Facebook ads. So, okay, we've gone over targeting, so everybody understands kind of when we do select the area that we want to target. Tomorrow, we've talked about budgeting, how to make sure you're not going to go over your budget, whatever your daily budget is going to be. What we'll do is on Thursday, we're going to send all of you an email to let you know what time it's going to be at 2:30 on Thursday Eastern Standard. We're going to send all of you an email, and on that webinar, what we're actually going to do is we're going to go step by step and create the actual ad that Craig has given you guys all access to. One of the ads that we've selected, which is probably going to have the best impact, is the one where it's like Glenway Estates under 1.2, or it's area homes under a specific price range. So we're going to help you guys set up that ad. We're going to help you guys launch the ad, and we'll make sure that whoever has questions, that you guys are not left out, not being able to do that. We're going to make sure you guys get it done. Does anybody on here have any other questions that are related to setting up their Facebook to make sure that they have the ability to, when we get on the webinar on Thursday, to actually get the ad set up? Any other questions? Because I believe we've covered everything to make sure that you guys are going to be able to start your ads this coming Thursday. Can you tape Thursday as well? Absolutely, Fred. We'll tape Thursday, and we'll have one again if you guys need on Tuesday of next week, so we can help and make sure you guys are getting it done. But we'll tape every single one of these, and then when you've registered for this event, you'll automatically receive an email when the recording is up there, so you guys can watch it. David, can we help get your account unlocked? Unfortunately, the biggest issue that we're going to have with Facebook unlocking the account is the best way to try to get it unlocked is to actually go through their process of requesting for your account to get reestablished. And there's nothing that we have that, like, even though we are, an agency with Facebook, it's not like we have special abilities to unlock people's accounts. So it's really unfortunate. Um, the thing that I think I suggested to you last time, David, was that you potentially use a Facebook account of your spouse or somebody that you know. And if you were to, let's say, set up a whole new account for yourself, the best way to do it is to do it with a different name. Maybe use a nickname of yourself, and then when you're putting in your credit card number, you actually have to put in a whole new credit card number. You cannot use the same credit card number that you used when you got suspended, because that new account is going to get resuspended again. So unfortunately, when you get banned, sometimes the best process you're going to have is to request for the account to get it reestablished. And unfortunately, I've seen them sometimes wait a couple of weeks, and I've seen people wait months to get their accounts reestablished, depending on what the reason behind it is.
Most of the times they honestly just ask you to send them an ID. So if you have used, your spouse ID or somebody your account, just make sure to submit their ID, and they usually do get it unlocked like within 48 hours from my experience. So if you happen to, if that happens to be the issue, ads run under a different name or things like that, just submit that ID as soon as possible, and you
Yep.
should be good to go in a couple of days.
David, do you want to share your screen? Do you want to hop on and you can share your screen? I mean, I'm sure it might help somebody if they ever get banned, so we can see what you're seeing. We'll wait for David to answer. David, there it is. We do have you here, David. If you want to unmute yourself, we can. Sure, awesome. So I think you're in. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely hear you. So yeah, go ahead and share your screen with us. Let's see what you're seeing, and maybe Vanessa can guide you and help you out here.
How do I do that?
So if you are on our screen, the bottom of the screen that says share screen, it's a green button.
I'm on a iPad, and so it's set up a little different.
Okay, you
don't-
look for the share screen button on the iPad.
Hmm.
Do you see a green share screen button? Usually it's a arrow pointing up button.
No, I don't see it.
I wouldn't know. Let's see, does Zoom
You may need
iPad?
to tap the screen. On my iPad, that's what I have to do for it to show up. Just tap my screen.
Okay, I'm tapping the screen, and then a little toolbar comes down from the top, but I don't see anything that says share.
Let's see what it looks like if I can find it. So how to share on iPad. So when you tap your screen, it actually might be on the top. On the top, you have end, and then you have to the right of that, you have unmute, share video, or sorry, stop video, share content. Do you have share content?
No, I have mute, raise hand, chat, Q&A. When I hit more, it just says minimize webinar or disconnect audio.
Shoot. Share iPad screen with Zoom. Control provides instant access. iPad function screen. Okay, swipe down under.
I can join it.
It doesn't look like he was made a presenter. That may be the issue.
Vanessa, could you try making a presenter, or let's see.
All panelists can share, so he should be able to share as he's the panelist.
Okay. For those of you that are still here with us, if you wish to actually check this out, you never know, you may need it down the road. Well, oh, there it is. So we can see your screen now. David, is David here? I believe he is. I think
Yeah.
you're muted. David, I think you're muted. Do you hear us by any chance right now, or?
A host or co-host may need to unmute him.
I can only ask to
Trying
unmute
to.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think he's recording his screen, so that's why we cannot hear him. Because if he starts to record his screen, like his microphone will be stopped. Yeah.
So maybe, yeah, maybe he has to click on microphone off.
Okay,
David?
I was trying to share the screen.
We were
and I
able
could
to
hear
see
you,
it.
but I couldn't see. Let me see if I can minimize this and go into Facebook.
You know what we could do as well, Vanessa, to help out David is we could do a Google Meet and then send him a link over to Google Meet. And then I know on my iPad at home through Google Meet, just through the web version of the Google Meet, it allows to actually share a screen. So we could attempt to do that. Or David, do you have a laptop or a desktop there that you can pop on?
I do. Yeah. Let me.
That might be
let me
easier.
get that.
That might be easier just from a perspective of seeing. Andrew, I'm not sure if you have any other ways of, I mean, I've never really done Zoom on an iPad.
I'm not sure about that. He should be able to share his screen and talk. So I'm not quite sure what setting he may have that's stopping that.
Okay. Yeah, we saw him kind of get muted there when he did. But so we'll wait for him to pop on the desktop and we can try to help him out and, you know, see if we could figure out what's the best way to get it unlocked. And again, for those of you that are still here with us, we've pretty much covered the parts that that we wanted to cover when it comes to, you know, preparing for when we do set up the ads. So we're really not going to need anything else. If at any point you guys want to jet off, or if you guys want to stay here, stick around, we'll definitely, you know, love to have you here. And if anybody has any questions in the meantime that I can, or Vanessa can answer, we've got a little bit of a time that we can spend answering your questions. You're most welcome, Fred.
Yeah, I'm having trouble finding the text message here on my computer that had the link.
We can email it to you again. Let's do.
Okay, that'd probably be easier.
Let me go into our Zoom account and find your link because I think everybody has their own link, right, Vanessa?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Are you logged into Crystal's account, Vanessa, by any chance?
No, I believe Sabina is. Sabina, can you hear us?
Guys, here it is.
Oh, awesome. This is the link
Awesome.
for awesome. Thank you, Sabina. So I'll email it over to you, David. What's your email address?
It's dnorrisrealtor@gmail.com.
Realtor@gmail.com. Okay. And Realtor link to Zoom. All right, I just sent that over to you.
Okay. Okay, it's coming up now.
All right.
Oh, I guess I got to fill out the info again here.
Steve, you can just join the webinar in progress, I think.
Oh, I don't have to put all that back in? Okay.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
you should. Well,
yeah,
actually,
it's
that link
asking
is
for it.
make it register. So maybe we need a different link. You know what we'll do? Let's do this. I'm going to send you a link over to our Google Meet, and I'll post it here. Anybody who wants to join our Google Meet over there, it's going to be a lot easier to do this in a Google Meet, even on your desktop. If you can join this link, create a meeting, create an
Oh,
instant
I'm
meeting.
trying to launch meeting right now. So
Okay.
Okay,
All right, there he goes.
perfect. All right, and then I'll I'll shut down the one on my iPad so it doesn't
Awesome.
cause any problems.
I think it's just now connecting to audio.
Yeah,
Okay, you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. I got it switched over. And okay. So then share screen. Okay. I don't know what it's doing. It's trying to pull up a whole bunch of things.
Just click on the first one.
Yeah, it says share screen, and then a new screen comes up with like desktop one, whiteboard.
Click on desktop one and click share.
Okay. And then says open system preferences. And some security and privacy thing comes up.
Yeah, your Mac does not have basically the permission to record your screen. I mean, Zoom does not have permission to record your screen. So you would need to do that and restart your Zoom. Maybe it's better, Otto, if you were to switch to Google Meet instead.
I think we might have the same issue then in Google Meet if you're on a Mac. If you've never shared screen before.
Let's do
No.
it. Let's do it this way. I can share mine for a quick second, and I can share. I can show
How to do that,
to
yeah.
David, yeah, what to do, and we go from there. Give me 1 second. No, I don't need this. The Zoom don't want to pop up. Here we have it. So at the top where you see the little apple, you just need to click on that and basically just go to system preferences from here.
Okay.
Then you're gonna click on security and privacy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little house icon. And then on the left, you're just gonna scroll down until you find screen recording. So you're gonna click on that. And here you're gonna make sure that Google Chrome is selected. And I mean Zoom for, sometime in the future. So in order to make any changes, you will click the little lock at the bottom. This will prompt you to either use your password or your finger ID, and then you can select or unselect any applications from here, basically. And once that is completed, click the lock again. And then once you relaunch your Google Chrome or your Zoom, you will be able to share it.
Okay. Let me try that.
All right.
Oops.
Do you need to go back?
Okay, so share screen, continue, desktop, share.
You would need to restart your Zoom, basically.
Screen recording. And then quit and reopen.
And it will exit your Zoom, and then you will need to re-log in. Just so
Okay.
you're aware.
I did this on my Mac as well a little while back. I forgot how it's been done. Once
No,
you do it
believe me, I
once, you
know.
never have to do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you work with clients like every day, it's the same. Oh, what is this error message I see? So I just go through it so many times a day.
Yeah.
But he's out. That means he'll be back soon.
Yep. Yep. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to try this again.
And
There we
there
go.
it is.
Okay.
Amazing.
And then we minimize all
Go
of
to your
that.
Facebook. Yeah.
So then I'll have to go to okay, so here's my Facebook, and then I guess that is what I have listed as my business page right now.
That is your personal profile. That's not the business page.
Oh.
So you would need to go back to the home screen. Yeah.
Go back to.
Go
So
to
let's
see
do-
more.
They
Let's do
both
this.
have the
If you go-
same picture, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's do this. Let's see if you click on see more on the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. And then let's go to ads manager.
Okay.
And let's see what message you see here now. Okay, you're restricted from advertising. You can't run ads or manage ad accounts. So, Vanessa, we click on see details. I guess that's the only thing you can try.
Mhm.
Okay, you're always looking at security.
So basically what happened was there was one time that my account got hacked, and I'd caught it a little while later, and somebody had somehow, charged $50 or $60 to my credit card and was trying to sell their truck. So I caught that. I was able to type whatever to stop it. They shut down the account, and then they told me I had to, change my password, put in a different credit card. And I did all of that. And then I finally got them to reopen an account. And then I tried to run a legitimate ad like a few minutes later, and somebody shut me down. And then I typed them back and they unlocked it, and then ran the ad and they shut me down. And that went on like 5 times within probably an hour. And then I think on the last time I forgot to click that housing thing like you guys were talking about. And so after that, they just shut me down. And then I think they've even blocked me to where I can't even make a request to have it unlocked. At one point, I tried sending them my ID, but I don't know if it ever went through because there said, that thing up there says the identity confirmation failed. And I'm just not very techie at all.
Can you go for a second on see account status overview on the very right?
Right here?
Yeah, that's okay. So it's just the account and not the business side account. Can you go on the 3 little lines at the top? And go to business settings. It's the last thing under shortcuts. Let's go there. David Norris Real Estate. Go under ad accounts, please, on the left. Okay, where it says David Norris Real Estate at the very top, right under business settings, can you switch to that second account you had there? David Norris Business. Again, go under ad accounts there.
I'm sorry, go where?
Ad accounts again.
On the
very
left, yeah. Yeah, there it goes.
You can manage, so it's the same. Honestly, this is the send review request or whatever that button was grayed out. That means that they blocked you from setting additional requests, or they have already received your request. And if you have not received an email back from them, I think that part is complete and you cannot do anything more on that part. In this case, the best thing would be to reach out to support again and have them to reactivate the account, because like this, you cannot create an additional one, let's say a backup one that you want to use that is completely, restricted in this case, and they are basically not allowing you to create anything else. So support would be the basically only option in this case, to reach out to them and get them to reactivate, see maybe if they can, give you the option to send the ID again or something like that.
David,
Yeah.
do me a favor, please. Go back to that screen. I'm going to take a screenshot and I'm going to send this over to our guys. So give me a second, please.
Go back to this screen.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's this one here. Because what I want to do, somebody knows how to get around this and who to contact. So I'll reach out to the guys that we know and see what did they suggest. Like, is there some kind of special email? Because if you honestly, so here's the thing, there's many people who get hacked on a daily basis, and they're not the reasons why their accounts have the issues that they have. So they have to have some kind of workaround for this. So let me submit this through. I'll see what I can find. Um, I wouldn't suggest you actually even create with this computer that you're logged in here. If you create even other profiles using this computer, they're going to get flagged as well, because this is what's considered like a permanent ban. They've essentially removed your ability to even request reviews from here. So the only way you're going to be able to contact Facebook is if we can get an email for somebody that can actually specifically deal with this issue, and they could review this manually, because you
But
can't, looks
David,
like it.
yeah, just do not
So
get,
wait,
too
sorry,
worried
hang on a
about it.
second. Hover over that again, request review, hover over that again. You must confirm your identity before requesting a review.
And you see
Let's,
then at the top, it says identity confirmation failed.
Right, but I don't know how I go about doing that. And, like I said, I'm not even sure. I don't even remember where to go to type to request the review. I think I used to click there, but
I
like you said,
might have a link. Let me see if it's working.
because I've even asked, one of those reviews or two, I'd even asked them to call me and gave them my cell phone number so I could actually talk to a live person and explain it. But
yeah,
Facebook doesn't seem to ever want to do that.
no, they don't have the resources for that. Let's see if Vanessa has a link that we may be able to click on, because if you potentially navigate to the link, it might allow you to, let's see.
But David, I've seen accounts, go from this to back being reactivated even after they specifically said in an email, this will never be reactivated. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna post this on that group as well right now. I have a Facebook.
Should I click on the C account status overview?
I think that takes you to the same page. It's a, let's go ahead, try clicking on it. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, it's the same account, outstanding, no account or assets issues. Scroll down a little bit. Yeah, you can't. In the last 30 days, review most recent accounts and assets. Click on resolve. Yeah, nothing there either. See if,
No, the link just takes to the account quality page. So it's not unique for, ID confirmation. It's basically whatever they are requesting you to, it goes straight to the account quality page. So.
okay. I'll submit this to these guys, see if there's anybody that there's some kind of email and somebody that might be able to assist with this. I mean, I know our guys, when we've had issues like this, the primary suggestion has been, go through the process. Although when we have gone through the process, they've accepted it. They've accepted the identity confirmation that any issues with it. So that's the only downside here is we got to a point where they haven't accepted your identity. So we will try to figure out some kind of solution. The only other suggestion that I have, David, would be to, even recreating something. I mean, you would have to literally get a whole new laptop.
Well, this is a brand new laptop, but that was all done on my old laptop. I just bought this one here a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But
It's still, I mean, whenever they do basically, did they refund you that transaction where somebody, hacked your card and posted an ad? Did you receive a refund for that?
yeah, they refunded my credit card, and this
Yeah,
was
that's why.
over a year ago.
I know. That's why basically whenever they issue a refund to somebody, they completely, block your account thinking, okay, somebody is misusing this account and we want them, we won't allow them to make any more ads. So
Yeah.
if there's a refund, your account will be disabled, and that is 100%. So they always do that.
Yeah, I would have just let them keep the $60 if I knew it was going to be this much trouble.
Yeah, I'll post this on this AdLeaks group. I mean, it's a group of 1.4 thousand members, and these are all like we pay, I think, like $1,200 a month just to be part of the group. So I'll post a question on there to see whether there's somebody that understands how to get around this specifically, and if there's anything that we can pass on, David. I have your email, and I'm sure we'll see you on the next webinar as well. And I'll pass any information that I can over to you. But unfortunately, I think we're at that point where we really don't know what else we can do.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate any help you guys can give me. And, even if there's just a way we can figure out how to submit my driver's license or ID to them, because they're acting like
Exactly.
they can't verify who I am. And I tried sending that at one point, but I don't know if I did it right or if it went through. So.
Okay. Awesome.
But-
We'll definitely figure it out if we can find out how we can submit that, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, perfect. Other than that, I guess I'm just resolved to learning how to work Google ads.
Yeah. I mean, on the Google Ads side, there's a lot to learn as well. Are you running Google Ads currently?
No, not yet. I've been watching a few YouTube videos. I'm using Real Geeks as my website provider for my website,
Okay.
and of course they call me and are trying to have me pay them I think 300 a month to run the ads and another 300 for marketing, and I haven't done that yet. But I was considering it. I just
Which
was kind of-
area? Which area are you in currently? What's your what board are you with? MLS.
I'm with the Golden Empire MLS in Bakersfield, California.
Okay. Empire. Is CRMLS in your at all? Do you work with
No, that's
CRMLS?
basically LA and the coast. I've thought about joining that, but I haven't done that yet. We're ours would be GE MLS or Bakersfield Association of Realtors.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The only reason I ask is, I mean, some of the feeds that we have, we're actually a Google Premier partner. We help agents, generate. We spend probably $1 million per quarter on Google Ads for real estate agents. So we've been doing it for quite a long time as well. We can certainly help and show you, but I don't know if we have your MLS. We have the CR MLS, but we don't have the GE MLS. I don't think we do. I'll double check that as well and let you know, and maybe we can give you some pointers there too.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, David. Thanks so much, and we'll definitely send an email out for the webinar on Thursday, and we'll try to get you some answers by then on how to get around this on Facebook.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for your help.
You're most welcome.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
David.
All right. Bye for now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.